Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Dreamers Game 1, where we are playing Yomi. This is turn 36. Let's jump into things. Okay, so right off the bat, we have a Construction 6. Boom. I think research goals are probably important enough to go ahead and put up on the thing, unless we're, like, blowing through a crap ton of them for whatever reason. But Construction 6, definitely a big research goal for us. So, pretty excited about that. Next up, we have Jin, wannabe the Ubaran Scout, has claimed the Throne of Gaia. Again, I think claiming thrones big enough to report on, so boom. Ubar, Throne of Gaia, right there. Pretty cool. What else do we got? We have found 2 magic sites off of Zenig Afarat. This is our water boy, so we find... Oh, this is going to be awesome. We were just talking about how we wanted some water income, and in the same location, Zenig finds both a Garden of Frozen Flowers, which is +1 water gem, awesome, and finds a fairy, which is like a fairy of the dead. So... +1 water and +1 death. If we're ever going to find spare gems, death gems are a great spare to find, so very happy about that. Potentially looking at the concept of moving up towards something like Well of Misery. That would be pretty cool. And yeah, so pretty neat. Anything else that we have? No sites in White Forest. Got some Blood Slaves and Ghent, so... that's going to be gem income increase of water +2 and death +1. So, boom. Right there. Very nice. Pretty exciting. Okay, we've got a number of battles. We have attacked several times, and we get to witness several other attacks. So let's go ahead and watch a battle in Shambolic. This is our Dione that we sent in, Tokimochi, in the hope, right, that Hinom was going to be too occupied, too busy this turn, and hopefully we're not just sending him to his death. He's up against... Oh, yeah, he's just up against some PD. Okay, so we guessed correctly. We should be just fine. No issues here. Flight, air shield. We didn't even get to fight, really. Hinom got routed off of our wolves. Which is wild. Very nice. Okay, cool. We also attacked in Jabero, and this is actually a fort, though I don't expect there to be too terribly much here. We have a Terui off on the side. And yeah, we're up against just a small amount of ED from the side of Hinom. Wolves come in, get dropped. We're just shooting an avalanche of flames, which is pretty okay. Easy peasy. Oh, that quickness is just nasty on a Dione with the Champion's Gladius. That is, oof, that is disgusting. Okay, not a single loss. Rolled over that PD pretty easily. We have a bunch of different battles to watch now. We have Saramatia attacking Arcosphale. Let's see if there's anything of note here. Little Saramatian raiding force versus a small amount of Arcosphalan units, which are just on fly and attack rear. So... Oh, they're not on fly and attack rear. They were on retreat. So, okay, gotcha. Just... Oh, they didn't have a leader. That's what it was. Unfortunate. Okay, and then there's a bump as Helheim runs into Saramatia's forces in Newland. Let's see what Helheim has. Helheim only has a scout, and it looks like Helheim was trying to do exactly pretty much what just happened, right? Like ping this force and see if there was nothing there, right? And then Helheim basically takes the province for free. But there is something here, and that something is Saramatia's forces. So the win goes to Saramatia. We've got Agartha attacking in Cormark. Let's see what this is. Ah, okay, so here's the big army. A couple of cave grubs, whole bunch of great ohms. We've got a smattering of cavern guard and earth elementals. And this is just a very small amount of PD from Hinnom, which is just destroyed from the great ohms. Very nice. And then Agartha is trying to prod back at their capital, see if they can take that back. They've got a little force here. Some Earth Readers, it looks like. Some Pale Ones. Some Cavern Guard. But they are actually up against a decently sized little force here. Avite Light Infantry, which are no joke, truth be told. And they're mostly no joke because they hit like trucks and have decent HP. They don't have great stats otherwise, but they hit really hard and they have good HP. So they can be very difficult to deal with, along with some Avite heavy archers, which are generally okay. So, unless these Earth Readers got some tricks, they're both summoning Earth Power, but I don't see anything else that they're really doing. Strength of Giants, okay. Legions of Steel would be good. Ooh, I don't think it's gonna be enough though. Ooh, that Earth Meld did a little bit of work. Yeesh. Just not enough here, right? Like, if Agartha had, 20 more infantry, maybe, but... Or if they had, like, Earth Elementals or something like that here, right? But... looks like that is not going to be a win for Agartha. Unfortunate. If they could take their cap back and keep the pressure on Hinnom, that might actually be a tenable situation for them. We attack in Holstein. So this is a little raiding party. A bunch of Yaris. And we do have a decent little, like, I think 6 or so PD here. So Hinnom is putting Province Defense back into these locations in the hope that, I don't know, maybe that they'll have attrition cut down some of these Yaris. And he is going to have that happen slowly but surely. But fortunately, not very rapidly. At least not in this case. We lose 2 Bakemono shows. So I would not be putting in, knowing that we have this type of raiding going on, I would not be putting in, 6 points of province defense or anything like that. And then we get to see Hinnom is trying to get Agartha off of their capital. So let's see what they are up against. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, the only thing here is a cavern guard left behind just for sieging scenarios. But this is the concern, right? This is what Agartha has to deal with. And really, when I say this, I mean this singular fucking line of Rephites, right? Like, this is a massive, massive horde of Rephite warriors that are just... I think they are just too much of a problem for Agartha to really deal with. They're very tanky, right? They hit really hard. And probably the biggest issue for Agartha is they have very high base magic resistance. Even ignoring the +2, just 15 is gonna be difficult for the ohms to deal with, and the ohms are the majority of the issue right now in Agartha's world. Plus, there's a lot of other bodies here, right? A lot of mages to do a lot of different things with. A lot of body ethereal, which is pretty concerning. Fairly concerning for me, actually, because we have our Dionis have magic weapons, but we don't have a lot of other magic weapon options. Our Oni, for instance, don't just run around with magic clubs or anything like that. So, very scary army. 219 units here. If we check in Cormark, 213 units there. And this is what I've been saying, right? I think my big concern here is that if this Hinnom army goes up against this a Garthan army, I'm pretty sure that Hinnom wins, right? I think Agartha will do some damage, right? Potentially to that army, but I think Hinnom wins. But yeah, anyways. Okay, so those are the battles. We have 3 wins against Hinnom and 0 losses. So nice. Good for us. If I mean, they're just superficial wins, so it's not us killing anything really, so it's not any big deal. Anyways, moving on. Events. We have a rebirth event in Kodal Swamp, and there's some turmoil and unrest in Jabero, so unfortunate there. Worldwide event has occurred because of the Throne of Gaia being taken. We get +1 growth worldwide for a little bit. And Jabero has been breached. So we did breach that fort in 1 turn, meaning it's unlikely that there's very much in the way of reinforcements there. So we should be able to see how that goes pretty quickly. So let's take a look at what is going on. We have identified, right, there is this big-ass force here in Hinnom. We've got the Garthan force in Cormark. I've been in communications with Agartha about, you know, what's going on, and the Agarthan players' assessment of the situation seems to be basically about the same as my assessment, right? Is that they're doing what they can to make Hinnom's life hell, but Hinnom has their capital, right? Like Hinnom has Hinnom's capital, and they have Agartha's capital, meaning that Hinnom is winning out in this situation slowly but surely, right? And Agartha, I think, also has the same opinion about their chances against the Hinnom army, right? If the 2 armies go head-to-head, Hinnom's probably going to win. So we are going to continue to try to bleed out Hinnom from the east and see what we can do. We're also going to start making the cross into other portions of Hinnom's territory. So right now we have this eastern section kind of on lock. We are sneaking south just to be able to kind of threaten different locations if at all possible, and probably to sneak across to the west and see what we can do there. And in the meantime, we're actually going to attack southward into Sulfuria with Tokimochi. There is the possibility that we get intercepted there, but again, I think most likely Hinnom is going to want to deal with Agartha's big stack. What I have in the field right now versus Agartha or versus Hinnom is significantly smaller. We are also, I don't know if this was just an accident or if I had, again, I'm doing these slightly after the fact. I don't know if this was just an accident or if I had a reason for this, but I do not have the Storm the Castle command going on with Aterui here, so I do not know if I do not know why that is, and I think this is a mistake, basically. Other than that, we don't have a lot of movement stuff going on, excepting for, again, site searching and moving around to pick up various Oni units. That's pretty much it. Goro has arrived in Flimistan to pick up a fair number of these Bakumono Sho. But he is actually heading down to Lama. Rather than head up to Hinnom territory to raid, he's heading down into Lama. Hopefully, if I'm remembering correctly, because this was the place... The fucking history button. Yeah, this was the place with the boar. So I think I remember at this point, or I think I recalled, hey, there's a boar here. I need to go patrol it out because I noticed the unrest. But I don't know if next turn if I remember it or not. So, fingers crossed. Anyways, again, most of the movement right now is just just moving for site searching and for picking up Oni and dropping them off. We continue to have to send gold to Ubar. That ends on turn 43, I believe. As far as recruitment goes, because of that, we basically have very little recruitment. We were able to get a Dione this turn, unlike last turn. And that is about it as far as movement and recruitment and stuff like that goes. We've got no building this turn because we're too fucking broke for that, but we do have a number of forgings. Let's see if we can find them. We've got a dwarven hammer. We have construction 6, so that's happening, right? We're gonna move. We're gonna try to finish out alteration 4 for temper flesh. Okay, that's a super strong buff. Body ethereal is also going to be an option. Curse of stones, a decent option for us. Things like wind guide can be useful later on, but we don't really particularly care about that. Swarm is always potentially useful, but really what we're looking for here is temper flesh, right? So that should be good for us. And that we should do that in a single turn. So after that, we're immediately going to run up some conjuration in order to give us access to things like Shikome specifically, but also earth power is going to be useful for thugging. Being able to use elementals or have access to things like that to be able to blow gems if this war with Hinnom gets tight, which it's very possible that it could. But, yeah, anyways. So, now that we have Construction 6, we are going to try to focus in more on our construction. So, for that, we need more Dwarven Hammers. So, we have a Dwarven Hammer being made this turn. We have an Owl Quill being made this turn. We're going to do Owl Quills basically probably every turn for the rest of eternity until air gems become a big issue for us. We have a Lightless Lantern being forged in Yomi. Is there... Oh, and I forgot about this. I didn't see this. We also have a Boots of the Messenger being forged in Ancient Woods. So, Boots of the Messenger, Dwarven Hammer, Owl Quill, and Lightless Lantern. So, I probably should have prepped for this better and produced more Earth Gems, produced more, Dwarven Hammers over the course of the last several turns. I'm not entirely sure why I didn't. Just honestly, these first I don't want to say low investment, right? But these first several turns were actually kind of during holiday season, right? I think in and around Thanksgiving. So it was kind of a situation where I was like, okay, I just got to get this done, move on. So probably should have prepped better for the whole Construction 6 Dwarven Hammer situation. If I had been smart about it, I would already have had like 6 or 7 Dwarven Hammers at the ready, and I would have been able to fire off for the next several turns a couple of Lightless Lanterns to really jumpstart our research speed. But it is what it is. We'll see how it goes, and it'll be slower, but we'll also get there regardless, so no worries. Okay, anything else happening this turn? I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. Anything for the global stage? We have the conflict between Hinnom and Agartha. We have Arcos Fale is all but dead. They only have their capital left, and that is being sieged by a pretty big mass of warriors from Helheim. Things are kind of a lot of discussions starting to happen about like coalitions and things like that against Helheim. Ermor talking about that type of stuff, Lanka talking about that type of stuff, Sarmatia a little bit, Ubar a little bit, right? So I think it kind of depends on what happens with Helheim in the next few turns after Arcos Fale. So if Helheim immediately looks at another target, right, I think there's going to basically be an immediate response of a coalition against Helheim, basically, with almost everyone in the world, I would assume. And that's because they already have 2 full nations worth of territory and then like half another nation's from Arcos Fale. If they're allowed to just target someone else and just run them down, that'll probably, if they're allowed to do that without repercussions, that's probably just game right there. So, and I think most of the players in the game are aware of that. Most of the players in the game are aware of Helheim's size and the situation that they're in. My assumption is that Helheim, after the whole Arcocephalia thing, Helheim is either going to cool it, and the other nations will, they'll either coalition and go for Helheim, or they'll start banding back and forth with each other, and we'll see how things kind of progress from there. Or, Helheim will continue on this push and hit someone else, and if that's the case, I'm pretty positive it's going to be an instant coalition. So, which is probably a smart thing, truth be told. Alright, anyways, I've already looked at the Throne of Gaia, haven't I? Because this isn't the first time that we've had that. This is a +2 Dominion, +2 Growth, 2 Nature Gem. Pretty nice. Anyways, that's going to be it for this turn. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.